Good afternoon, everyone. It's James. I just want to start out by saying that this is not going to be like my typical videos, so I apologize now in advance. But I do need to address something that is very, very important because it's impacting the day-to-day news reels for a long time. And it's something that I personally have been very invested in for a long time. Here's the thing. Many of you may know that for the past nearly 8 weeks now, America's been following the story of Savannah Guthrie and her family as they search for their mother, Nancy, who was abducted from her home in Arizona in the middle of the night. At this point, no one has said anything, but tips have been pouring in. And Savannah and her family have offered a large, and I do mean large, reward for information. Now, I can relate to Savannah's pain for a number of reasons, but I'll get to that in a second. But the reason I'm bringing this up now is earlier this morning on the Today Show, they showed a clip of an interview that will air in full tomorrow and Friday between Hoda and Savannah, where she opens up about what her family has actually been going through since these events took place. She said for the past 50 some odd days, she's woken up in the middle of the night in agony. And she won't hide her face because she knows somebody out there knows something. And I want to believe that. But sort of brings to mind that expression where if you see something, say something. And I know how important that is. And I'll tell you why. The reason I said I can relate to Savannah's pain is because I know what it's like to endure the pain of being personally invested in a missing persons case. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I started this journey that I've been on for the last several years in an attempt to combat mental health. Because many of you who know me personally know that nearly 16 years ago, I lost a very close friend when they unfortunately passed away from an accidental drug overdose. But what many of you don't know, unless you know me personally, is that at the time all this happened, this individual was actually reported missing. So we thought it was a missing persons case, and we didn't know what was really going on for 4 days until her body was eventually found in a storage shed. But what we didn't realize is, at the time, the person she had been with the night she passed, both of them overdosed, and he woke up, but she was already deceased. And he, unfortunately, got scared, and as a result, he hid the body. So that's what led to people thinking she was missing. But we didn't know at the time that she was actually dealing with a hidden drug issue. That's why it's so important to get help and ask for help if you need it. But that being said, my point is, because it was originally treated like a missing persons case, I know the kind of pain Savannah and her family are going through. So, if you know something, say something. Regardless of what happens, it'll be worth it because you will have a hand in bringing closure to a family who deserves closure one way or the other. And we're all praying that something good will come out of this one way or the other. But again, if you know where Nancy is, or if you know something that will eventually lead to her, say something. And don't forget, you can pass along any information you have by calling that tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Let's work together and hopefully bring closure to this agonizing case. And to anybody who's dealing with any kind of agony for whatever reason, whether it be an undisclosed illness, a missing person, or anything, know that you're not alone. And there's somebody out there willing to help. So all that being said, please, if you know something, say something. And remember, as I always say, love one another. Thank you.